Hello and welcome to MSTV talk show Rubaroo. I'm Neha Chauhan, and today we are going to have an engaging conversation about sports, health, lifestyle, and we bring you Mr. Paolo, who is a sport person and an Italian state police officer. Hello, sir.
Hello, namaste to all the public.
So we welcome you in Marwah Studios. And first of all, how are you feeling?
Thank you very much. I'm here for continued my history. Started 2 years ago, more or less, when I was here for announce my sport project for try to run in the top altitude in the world, in Ladakh. In Ladakh, there is the Kardun La Pass, the more highest motor vehicle pass in the world, 5,602 meters of altitude to the sea level. And anybody ever tried before? And was a very, very strong organization and training preparation. But in the final, the 13 July 2023, I and my team, and also the Indian team, we arrived to the gold. And the gold was a record, world record, 20 kilometer, 0.700 meter at this altitude, and is a very, very important record, sport record, and also for medical research, because we have discovered some new news about the altitude.
First of all, very congratulations for your world record, and that's wonderful. Moving on to my next question, you are a sports person, so how your journey started in sports?
So I'm started very, very young, when I was 7-year-old.
Okay.
And I am continued to run all distance of middle found in the track and field, half marathon, marathon, ultra marathon. Ultra marathon are all distance up the 42 kilometers of marathon. And I'm beginning one of the more stronger ultramarathon in the world, but my curiosity for the environment and my curiosity for discover my body power have pushed me to try to make some records. And the last 3 world record, I start from the 2017 in Iran.
Okay.
In Iran, there is the more hottest place in the world, the desert of Lut. I have run 75 kilometers with a temperature of 67 degrees Celsius. And we have make hydration test research, and was very, very strong, because the temperature of the air 67 degrees and the ground was around 90 degrees. So it's like an oven where you run inside and you lost a lot of fluid, and this is very dangerous. And in India is a very hot country, and it's very dangerous make endurance activity during the high temperature. And after 1 year and a half, I have chosen the opposite side of try to run in the more coldest place in the world. So the inhabited coldest place in the world is in Siberia. Republic of Sakha-Yakutia is one of the Republic of Russia. And in 1924, they have touched the lowest temperature in the world, minus 72.2 degrees.
That's dangerous.
Yes, it's frozen. But now with the climate change, this temperature is impossible touch again. But in 2019, I have realized this new world record. I have run 39 kilometers at minus 52.6. Also, the scientists can't believe which is possible run at this temperature, because obviously this area, people live in this area, but they don't run. They cover mouth, cover the head for protect from the frost, from the cold. But when you run, you need to have the mouth open, and you breathe this frozen area
for the oxygen.
And it's very difficult.
Exactly.
So we have discovered which is possible. For my experience, I think we can arrive minus 60, not more. Otherwise, you need to have a special equipment for cover mouth and don't froze from inside. And after the COVID period, I have stopped my activity around the world.
Okay.
And after long studies and also research, we arrived to organize the Ladakh High Altitude. Is a project which have the the idea to try to run at this altitude. Anybody ever tried before? And also produce a documentary, and in the same time analyze my body reaction. So the 13th July 2023, we arrived to finish this project. Now we have a very beautiful documentary, and I hope to show to the Indian public this documentary, which talk about sport, about sacrifice for arrive to the final goal, and also part of medical research, and a big part to discover the Indian culture of Ladakh.
That's such a brave, exciting, and interesting journey, I must say. I mean, between a lot of struggle, you faces a lot of struggles in different continents. You talk about India, I mean, Indian culture. So, how can we know about how do you connect it to India about your marathons?
So now I'm here for because during my activity somebody have recognized me like a man which have tested the more big temperature excursion in her body. So my body have touched plus 67 degrees and
Okay.
also minus 52. So the Northern Forum is an international organization based in Russia, have chosen me like a goodwill ambassador for introduce the thematic of the climate change and the respect of the environment, and also the respect of the native population of the remote area. So by the sport, I normally I run with the youngers, and during the walking or running, we collect waste and rubbish, and we separate metal with metal, glass with glass, plastic with plastic, paper with paper.
So
So
you're doing like running and also cleaning the environment.
yes, yes.
Amazing.
This sport, the name is polling, but if you want, we have a change a little bit. It's not a competition, but we give a prize to the baby, for example, which collect more kilos of paper or plastic,
Okay.
because we live in a beautiful world, but we don't respect a lot this world.
True.
And we can do something, especially the youngers, because before I have a talk with you, we are 8 billions more of 8 billion people in the world. The 20% of these 8 billions of peoples are children.
Children's.
And if we start to give education at these children to respect the environment, and we explain, for example, which a piece of paper, if you put in the ground, this piece of paper stay for 5 years before to disappear. But if you put a can, for example, Coke or other drinks of can, this can stay for 100 years before disappear. And if you put plastic, plastic don't disappear.
Exactly.
And this very, very dangerous, not only for the environment, but especially for us, for human and for the wildlife, because plastic change dimension and beginning in microplastic,
Microplastics.
and after this microplastic enter in the food chain of animals, and in the final, when we eat, for example, the big fish, tuna, or other type of big fish, we can introduce in our body the microplastic. So all come back and not disappear. So we can do something because we are a lot. Okay, the big government policy can change the pollution about the vehicles or the factory, but we can do something.
That's such a great initiate, I must say. And if we talk about this, I mean, younger generation, because they are our future. I mean, you're doing a lot, I mean, you're running and doing the social work also. And that is very important because people don't take it serious, but environment is our mother. And because with environment, we are here, right? That's amazing. So if we're moving on to next question. So I want to ask you, working on a medical research. So what that research about?
So we have discovered, for example, I give a little, I tell a little story. During the COVID time, we are beginning expert of analyze our percentile of oxygen in our body by the oximeter, the pulse oximeter, you know. And normally when you are here, like me and you, we need to have 100%, maybe 98% of oxygen inside the blood. But when you go in altitude, the quantity of oxygen reduce because gas, when we go far from the ground, the pressure, atmospheric pressure change, and the gas expand. So in the same volume of air, you don't have the same quantity of oxygen which we have here in Delhi, for example. So at this altitude, the Kartullah, 5,600 meter, the percentage of oxygen in the air reduce at 55%. So
Okay.
it's a lot. So it's difficult move, it's difficult breathe, it's difficult think. Our brain work with oxygen. So after 20 minutes during my race, my team was composed from two Italian specialized medicals of mountain and breath, and four doctors from Leh, Ladakh, expert in mountain pain. So after the first analysis of my percentile of oxygen, the machine have said 64%. It's too dangerous. When you stay in in hospital and you have this percentile, you go immediately to the special section for survive. So the Indian doctor have said, no, okay, we stop Paolo because it's too dangerous. My Italian doctors have asked to me my sensation. I have said, I'm good. I don't have any problem. So you can continue, but if this number go down like 62, you stop your running. And this is the first discover. Human body can survive, can run, and can have sport activity also with the 64% of oxygen in the blood. So it's stronger, it's difficult, but it's possible. And the other discover, normally when you stay in altitude for hours, your percentile of saturation go down.
Okay.
In my case, after 20 kilometers, the saturation is go up. Is like erection of the body, but body with a special training. And they have discovered because in the final of my race, my percentile of oxygen was 72. So from 64 to 72. 72 is a danger also number, but we have discovered which sometimes somebody can have a good reaction at this crisis situation.
Okay. So if we talk about, I mean, you doing about running. So we talk about nowadays, people are very lazy and they are actually having a lot of disease inside them. If we talk about people are dying from heart attacks, people are dying from, if we say diabetes and a lot of blood pressure. So nowadays people don't want to exercise about it and you are promoting this. So what do you want to say about those people? Because they are just killing themselves. Me, even not by nature, but they're killing themselves by own
So the
through their junk food.
last medical research said, and now we have a proof. It's not only some idea, crazy idea. People which make a ordinary sport activity can live 5-8 years more of the people which don't do any sport.
Oh,
But
that's amazing.
if you want, this is good because you said, okay, I live 5-8 years more. But it's not only for the 5-8 years; it's the quality of the 5-8 years more. Because if you do sport, when people is old, very old, have another, if you want, power, can walk, can eat, can do a normal life. It's not the life of the older in a chair or closing the houses. So this is very important. We need to explain to the people. We live in the time where you can eat all food, sometimes not good food.
Especially junk food.
Yes, and we call rubbish food. Maybe with the sport you can change your diet because your body asks something healthy, something more good for your performance. It's not necessary have a competition.
Exactly.
You can do sport for your pleasure, and when you are happy, also the people around you are happy. So it's good. Sport is a very good medicine. Now in Italy, for example, we explain to the youngers. Sometimes some people take some medicine, only for health. Okay, no medicine. Sport is a new medicine, and have a sure which have a good result.
Very true. People need to follow this mentality. I mean, especially in this generation, obviously, in this type of era we are living in. So, moving on to next question. So, that's a very interesting question I wanted to ask you. So, in Italy, how people look towards India or their culture? Because in India, we love Indian food, Italian food. We love it. Not gonna lie, the pizza and the pasta,
Yeah.
we are crazy about it.
Yes, for Italian people, India is like a dream because you have a very ancient culture, you have a very good food, and a lot of Italians coming in India for have maybe yoga course or for relax in the nature. So this is our dream of India. In the other side, we know which India you are a lot of peoples, and you have a little problems with the pollution, for example, and vast and rubbish. So I think this is part of investment which we need to do because, for example, all people want to run or walk in a clean environment
Yes.
in the middle of the nature without plastic bottle and etc. I think we can have this type of collaboration. In Italy, we are arrived to have a good result, for example, about the recycling of waste. In my region, I live in northeast Italy, near Venice.
Okay.
We are the first region in Europe with 80% of recycling of the rubbish. This is a very good result. But we can go up 87, we can arrive to 100%. And in one side is good for the environment, in the other side is good also for the business, because if you recycling plastic, you touch money. If you recycle iron, you touch money. So it's a business, and you can use the same material for many things. And in Italy, we have understand this model, if you want, and we try to export maybe in India. Why not?
Maybe we are very appreciative about it, and it's lovely to hear about India, about how Italy perceive India. So, if I ask you one question about how do you manage all your life? I mean, you are a sports person, you are a police officer, so how do you manage both? How the balance? I mean, I just wanted to know.
It's complicated, but fortunately, Italian State Police give me this opportunity to train myself. But in the same moment, talk with the youngers in the school, show my movie, explain my experience around the world, and try to send good messages like respect ourselves, respect of the others, and respect of the environment. Because we think, and we have the good statistic about that, in this period where family are busy all time, and sometimes father and mother can't follow very well the children, and also in Italy, unfortunately, religion with the modernity have lost some power, and school with the social network, with other information system, maybe sometimes don't have the same power of the past. So sport can supply. Sport can give some rules, some education, which normally you don't have. Because, for example, it's a stupid example, but very, very easy to understand. When I go to the school, I said, if you play soccer, for example, and you are 12 years old, and maybe it's the anniversary, the birthday of your sister, and in the lunch you eat a big piece of cake because it's a party time. But in the afternoon, you need to play your match, for example. But if you have eat a lot, you don't run.
You don't.
And all your friends say, why you don't run? You not are good soccer, for example. So you understand alone which next time when you have a match or when you have a test or something like that, you need to eat the good quantity of food, for example.
Yes.
Otherwise, first to pay, you pay. Because if you don't run, you don't play, you don't arrive to the goal, etc. So, stupid example for say some rule of sport anybody is playing, but you absorb the rules alone.
Yes.
And this is the good side of sport, one of the good side of sport.
That's such a motivational message. And if we talk about it, I mean, the way you explain about the balancing your life and how exercise is actually very pretty important for our health, and also you're doing environmental work, that is very appreciable. So, I mean, hats off to you, I must say. And moving on to the next question, I just want to ask you about how do you manage, as I told you that you have a balance about both your sports person field and the police officer job. So if you're doing projects, you have done a documentary. So what are your main expectations from that? What do you want people to watch in that?
So I don't looking money, for example. Unfortunately, I am very happy because my sport is not like soccer or American football, or in India your national sport, which is very rich sport. But I'm rich in experience because I have run more or less in every part of the world. I have knows a lot of peoples, beautiful peoples, with a different religion, different color of skin, without any problem. So I think sport gives this opportunity, and I'm very happy of my life because now I'm a little bit older, but I continued to run and I continue to travel around the world. And this is the price which this sport have given me to my life.
So at last, any three tips you wanted to give to our viewers about running and how to manage your healthy lifestyle? I mean, also living in this and how to take care of your environment. Any three tips you wanted to give to our viewers?
It's difficult.
Maybe stay fit, do exercise.
So I think beautiful photograph in my mind around the world, good health, and happiness and positive in general.
That's lovely meeting you, sir. You gave such an insightful session about your career and the documentary you were representing in India, and also how environment is important to us, how health is important to us. It's lovely meeting you, sir. Thank you so much, Paolo, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and I wait over all of us to in the cinema for
All the
watch
very
my
best.
documentary.
All the very
Ladakh
best, sir.
High Altitude.
Okay, all the very best, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You're watching MSTV. We'll be back with another episode.